The camera's been on for nearly 2 minutes now and I've yet to speak. Wednesday mood. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a great day so far. So today I'm going to be doing Jenna Froese and Kelly Gooch's tag video, which is the most overrated makeup tag. We're going to be spilling some tea today. So I'm hoping for this tag video that I might remember to answer all of the questions. I think I've got them all written down and I've planned out my answers, but you know what happened last time. Who can tell? So question 1, if you could use only one high-end brand, what would it be? Now I know what some of you are thinking it's gonna be. I know what you're thinking it's gonna be, because whenever I've answered this question recently, or similar questions to this, like for example, what's your favorite makeup brand? What's your #1 makeup brand? I've always said Charlotte Tilbury, and I wasn't wrong. I told no lies. That is the truth. It probably is the truth. It probably is. But do you know what comes into that answer? What comes into play when saying what's my favourite makeup brand? What's my #1 makeup brand? Charlotte Tilbury. Customer service has something to play, a role to play. It's important to me what my experience goes like when ordering from a brand. That matters how much I love a brand, whether it's my #1. This question is slightly different and therefore it has a slightly different answer. It's not my favorite brand. It's not what is the #1 brand, the best brand or anything like that. It's if I could only use one. So it's not even necessarily saying I have to buy from them again or shop there again. If I had to throw all my makeup away and I could only keep one brand for the rest of my life, my choice would be Pat McGrath. It would be. And I guess you knew it was going to be between those two. Those are my two favourites. I have like products that I love from in every category pretty much from both these brands, give or take. You know, Charlotte Tilbury, don't love her concealer. Pat McGrath, what don't I love? What don't I love? I don't think there's anything. Maybe, I mean, I haven't tried the primer. Maybe that's the one thing. And the loose powder, but I don't really use powder, so that's not really a huge issue. But yeah, so I guess the thing is about Pat McGrath, yes, her website is very, very slow on shipping. The communication is lacking. Sometimes the whole customer service is a mess. Let's face it. But when it comes to the products, if I'm going to use one foundation for life, one concealer, one powder, one eyeshadow, one mascara, one lipstick, one highlighter, yes, I'm going to be missing blush and bronzer, but I mean, they've got to be coming this year, haven't they? So question 2, what's the most underrated high-end brand? And I had two that immediately burst into my brain. One is YSL and 2 is Lancome. So the answer I went for is Lancome. Both of these brands, they're kind of what I think of as like classic brands. They've been around for a very long time. And I feel like although we know about them, yeah, sure, we know everyone knows who Lancome and YSL are. I feel like they get really lost, especially when it comes to like YouTube and Instagram. You just don't see people doing like a full face of Lancome, do you? Or a full face of YSL anymore anyway. Or at least I don't see that. Maybe you do. Yeah, I just feel like they've kind of, because they've been around for so long, we kind of forget about them. They're both the brands don't really bring out a huge amount all of the time. And what they have, it's like they've solidified. You know, Lancome's mascaras are amazing. Lots of people's holy grails. They have amazing foundations, great concealers. They have great cheek products. You know, YSL, they're becoming like my fave, like go-to lip brand as well. And again, I just feel like nobody uses their lip products or talks about their lip products really anymore. So yeah, I feel like they just kind of have got a bit lost because they've been around for so long. We've all forgotten about them maybe. But yeah, my most underrated high-end brand is Lancome. Try it out. Get down there. Well, don't get down there. Well, they're shut, so that would be a waste of a trip. What's the most overrated high-end brand? This is the reason I haven't filmed this video earlier, because I could not answer this question. I feel like for me, brands generally are rated where they deserve to be rated. The ones that I don't love or I'm that excited about, I feel like they aren't rated that highly. And most people agree with me. And then the ones that I love and obsessed with, those are the ones that I feel people rave about. So I kind of feel like the majority of the brands are kind of not over or under. They're rated accurately. But the one that I decided to go with is because this is how I feel about them currently. We'll come back to this in another question. But it's ABH, it's Anastasia Beverly Hills. I feel like they are starting to lose some of their hyped status because I think a lot of people like me have kind of not got sick or bored of them or anything like that, but I feel like they have, I talked about this in my top 10 brands video. I feel they've gone off the boil a little, they've slightly lost their way, they've kind of lost their vision a little, and where everything they used to bring out was an immediate #1 hit. A lot of their stuff nowadays is ending up in TK Maxx. A lot of their stuff is on sale and it's still hanging around, you know, months after these are limited editions that used to sell out. And yeah, I just feel like now they're still maintaining a lot of their following and a lot of the hype around it, but I'm not sure it's as deserved these days. What is your favorite high-end product under $50? I had to work this out to work out how much $50. I thought about cheating. I thought about cheating and just saying, oh, we'll call it £50, but obviously £50 and $50 is not the same amount. So apparently $50 is around £36.61. So my favourite high-end product under £36.61 is the Pat McGrath Concealer. I think it's so reasonably priced. I know it's quite small. Well, yeah, it's a little bit small. It's 5 mils. I guess like a kind of standard basic amount is usually about 6.5 on a good day. So yeah, it is kind of small, but honestly, I don't think I've gone through one yet. I've bought it in about 8 shades, trying to figure out which was my correct shade. We finally got there, but I haven't like binned one yet. I mean, the first one I bought is very like, it's got a lot of pan in this form, if that's what we call it. It's got a lot of see-throughness happening in the tube. It's almost there, but yeah, it will last you. You don't need a lot of this stuff. I think it's amazing, and it's for Pat McGrath, it's about half the price I expected it was going to be. So that's brilliant. What is a hidden gem from the high-end category that no one talks about? This is hard, and whenever I have these questions, I know not no one talks about it. There's always going to be someone, okay? There's always going to be someone. And the one person that I have heard talk about this, literally one person I've heard talk about this is Rephr. And it's the Galant Terracotta Nude Highlight. And this was like my holy grail for a long time. I still really love it. I think it's very beautiful, but I have kind of got a couple of others that I slightly am starting to prefer now. The new Pat McGrath is like, it got me right in the feels. But this one is super beautiful. I think probably the reason it's less hyped than I feel it should be is because if you are fair or light, I'm more of like a medium skin tone right now. It's going to leave a slight cast. It is going to leave a cast if you're fair or light. So maybe a lot of people, they can't use it because it's got that sort of peachier tone and it's a bit deeper than some highlights, but it is so natural and beautiful and smooth and skin-like, and it melts into it. You know what I like about highlights. It's all of those things. And I've literally only ever heard myself, and frankly, who's not sick of hearing my own voice, and Rephr talk about it. She's the only person. She's the reason I picked it up, Rephr, her blog, raving about it, and I got it, and I started spreading the love and raving about it too, but no one else is joining us. So question 6, what's your favourite high-end foundation? You know what it is. Why are you even asking? You know what it is, right? You know what it is. It's the Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate. That's what it's called, isn't it? Shade and Illuminate Soft Radiance Foundation. They can never just leave it there. They've always got to add 3 unnecessary words in, haven't they? But this is it. I mean, this is my winter shade. I was like, where are we? Who am I? This is my winter shade. I'm halfway through this bottle. I'm about halfway through. I think it may be even more of my summer shade. I can't remember whether it came out winter or summer. I think this was my first bottle. I'm halfway through both these bottles. I mean, bear with. I mean, this packaging is to die for. I do seem to get on really well with the shades in the Tom Ford foundations, and I just seem to get on really well with these foundations in general. I absolutely adore this is just everything I want in a foundation. It's got the perfect medium coverage, but although it's a medium and you can still see skin through and it still looks very natural, it neutralizes all my redness, it neutralizes all of my hyperpigmentation, my melasma. It just makes everything look flawless but so skin-like, and it's the perfect level of luminosity and glow without looking shiny or too much, and it stays that way all day. It wears incredibly well for that kind of foundation, and it doesn't transfer everywhere. It's not messy. I don't need to use a lot of it. I love everything about it. It's just, yeah, I like it. Okay. Number 7, what products do you tend to buy more at the high-end price point? I've been exposed. I mean, these days I buy everything at the high-end price point, I will say that. But I'd say the thing that I am most committed to in the high-end bracket, shall we say, is foundation. I feel like for me, foundation makes the biggest difference as far as like my makeup, the way I like to do my makeup and my before and afters. I feel foundation makes the biggest difference. I also feel like there is the biggest difference for me and what I look like in a foundation as what's available in the drugstore versus high end. And a big part of that is the shades, because I don't have a very yellow or very pink or classic neutral undertone. I'm like an olive neutral, and also my skin tone changes dramatically in the summer, and it also, the undertone even changes. I'm more of a standard warm tone in winter, and then I become more and more olive in summer. So yeah, I really struggle to find shades and undertones that work for me from the drugstore, so that causes an issue. I also just really love foundation packaging, and there's something about this type of packaging that really makes me love you know, using it, pulling out and using it, versus, you know, a lot of the time on the drugstore end it will be like a plastic tube or something like that I just don't enjoy as much the process. So I think, yeah, for me that would be, if I was to be forced to use drugstore for the rest of my life and I was allowed one product from high end, I would probably choose foundation. Question 8, what high-end brand do you think is overpriced? Ugh. I hate to say this, and I hate to do this, but don't blame me, it's Jenna's fault. You know, I didn't come up with these questions, all right? I'm just trying to join in. Oh God, I hate to say this, but I hate it. It makes me feel so uncomfortable because I don't feel like it's my place to decide what prices things are. You know, the prices are what they are, and you can choose to buy them or not. It's not my job to decide what the prices are, but there is a very specific reason why I'm going to say this brand, and the brand is Westman Atelier. I said it, it's out there now. I'm never ever going to get PR from them, am I? But hear me out, because this is the only product I've bought from them. So I feel like that is quite unfair for me to say that based on one product, but the prices are just so high. I can't possibly fathom that they can be, you know, necessary. I don't think they can be necessarily that high. Now, I love this highlighter, don't get me wrong, I love it, I think it's beautiful and I really enjoy using it. This is definitely one of the highlights that I would say has overtaken the Galon highlight I was talking about previously, because it's just a little bit more smooth and dewy on the skin. But here's why. So yeah, I love the product, I absolutely love it. Here's why I feel this is overpriced, because this was something like £69, something like that. That's why I think it's overpriced. I've had this highlighter like a few weeks, and the mirror just like fell right out one day, and now it's completely broken, and nothing happened, didn't drop it, didn't do anything. I just literally opened it one day, and it's like, it looks like a screw was missing or something, and yeah, it's now, the whole compact is completely broken. And yeah, that makes me really feel sad that I paid that amount of money for it, just for it to be broken, and now the packaging doesn't stay closed, the mirror falls out, and I just feel like that's not good enough for that kind of price point. Like, packaging should not be falling apart at nearly £70, should it? Really? So yeah, given that this is the only product I've purchased from the brand, so this is the only product I have to go off, and after a few uses it's completely broken, that's why I had to say it. I'm so sorry. Ugh. What's your favourite high-end limited edition product? There are so many. Now I spoke about this, I can't remember, some other video. I know, it was my 21 questions Ali Glines tag. A few of you were convinced this was coming back or it had come back, but it's a different shade. So I'm not just talking about this lipstick, I'm talking about this specific shade, which is Happy Lips, which was discontinued. It's not available on Charlotte Tilbury's website, at least not here in the UK. If it is available in your country, snap it up. Someone else did say that it was on the request to bring it back list, but it's not this shade. I think it's Princess Kiss and maybe Glow Kiss, but Happy Lips, believe me, it isn't back. It's not coming back, but I'm going to show you this time why I love it so much. So this is it. This is the infamous Happy Lips that I miss with my whole heart and soul. Mine is quite beaten up. It makes my lips look so juicy. I love the colour. But the formula itself is just amazing. This is just my favourite colour in the formula. So typically, of course, it's the one that she discontinued. And I don't know, it's the best colour. I love it so much. But it's the perfect shine, cushiony, pillowy, plump lip look. I just love it. I love it so much. What's the best high-end eyeshadow formula? Whenever anyone asks me this, people ask me this all the time. Oh, if you had to pick one, what would your favourite eyeshadow formula be? And it's nigh on impossible, for me at least, to choose between Natasha Denona and Pat McGrath. For me, they are just both there. Like, they both win. They're both on top of the podium. They both get the gold medal in this house, okay? I can't fault either of them. There are like pros and cons. So I feel like Natasha Denona, like her colour stories, I love that she offers bigger with more shades, more pans in her palettes generally. I love that about the brand. I adore Natasha's mattes. I love the size of her palettes, all that kind of stuff. And then Pat, it's like her mattes are also excellent, but her shimmers are like nobody else's. No one else's. Her packaging is off the scale. I love that everything is so special, and I feel like her tones are like my tones as well. Like, they just fit me and my preferences. So it's almost impossible to choose. If you held me at gunpoint and made me pick either my Natasha palettes or my Pat palettes and the others had to go in the bin, I think I'd have to keep my Pat. So I'm gonna say Pat McGrath, because it's just the specialness of them, like everything about them, from the packaging to the shimmer to the shine to the mirror to everything about using it, gives me more joy. So if I'm putting my Marie Kondo hat on, I think the Pat shadows give me more joy. What's the worst high-end eyeshadow formula? I thought Jenna was a really nice girl before this, and I don't know why she's making me say these terrible things. It makes me very uncomfortable. I'm British and we're supposed to be very polite at all times. Okay, I'm going to say it. This is what I have to say about this, okay? I don't hate this eyeshadow brand that I'm about to say. I don't hate them, but I'm only just buying a particular amount of eyeshadow. I'm like what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say I am a creature of habit, okay? So I have like my brands I know, Pat McGrath, Natasha Denona, ABH. I know I love those eyeshadow formulas, right? And I'm happy to just buy from those brands for the rest of my life. Viseart's coming in there, it's getting involved. You know, Charlotte Tilbury as well. Love those eyeshadow brands. I like to stick to what I know. I am only just sort of branching out into other brands. So I don't own eyeshadow palettes from like every brand going. So I don't have a huge amount to compare to. So I'd say out of the ones that I have tried, I can't go on saying I don't like eyeshadows from a brand I haven't tried, can I? So of the ones that I have tried, my least favourite eyeshadow formula is Huda Beauty's. I don't think it's terrible. I say that. I don't think it's terrible. I like it the least out of all those in my collection. I like it less than ABH, than Mario, than Charlotte Tilbury, than Viseart, than Natasha Denona, Pat McGrath, MAC shadows. I like all of those. Sydney Grace, of course. I like all of those more than I like the Huda, and therefore in my collection that is the one I like the least. I'm sorry. Question 12. What high-end brand did you used to love but aren't crazy about anymore? So we talked about them earlier, and it's ABH. I used to get so hyped. Any eyeshadow palette they were bringing out, I was like excited. I was here for it. when they brought out their foundation, I was so excited. You know, with their lip products, I get excited about, even though that's probably one of the worst products from the brand. Any launch from ABH 3-4 years ago, it was hype, excitement. I was going to get it, whatever it was. Bronzers, their blushes, their highlights, everything was just like exciting and tick, 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 tick. Yes, I want it. Yes, I want it. Nowadays, when they're coming out with a launch, I'm just like, I mean, I literally bought their highlight because I felt like I should. Because I did plan to like review it, but I didn't necessarily feel like it was going to be for me or my type of makeup. Maybe it's just because I'm getting a bit older. I'm not really in their like demographic age maybe anymore. So that's why it doesn't appeal to me as much as it did maybe when I was closer to 30. But yeah, they don't get me excited anymore. They don't tickle my pickle anymore. I'm so sorry. Question 13. What high-end product did you not expect to like? This was an easy one for me. And it's not that I thought it would be bad. It's because it had the word matte in it. And you know what it is, don't you? It's the Tom Ford Soft Matte Foundation. It had the word matte in it, and that was enough for me to think, I won't like that. It says matte, so that's not for me. I am a girl of glow, of luminosity, of radiance, of natural finishes, of, did I say dewy? All of the above. That's my vibe. That's what I like. I like the glow. I like it. I need it because I don't have oily skin. I have normal skin that can sometimes, on a good day, produce a slight shine on my nose. That's about all it gives me. So if I wear a very matte foundation, it will just stay very, very matte foundation on the vast majority of my face. So yeah, I just don't have enough oil breaking through my skin to kind of tone down the matte flat foundations. So anything with matte in it, it's just, I don't even really like matte bronzers or blushes or highlights or anything. Like I would prefer a satin. I just like it. I love all the luminosity. So imagine my surprise when this became like one of my top 3 or 4 foundations of all time. It's just so reliable. It's so beautiful and flawless and seamless. And although it is full coverage, and yeah, it's more matte than it is dewy, but it's definitely a satin matte. It's a luminous, glowy matte, if you will. A hybrid, let's say. It just is so beautiful and skin-like. And for that type of foundation, it's as natural as it gets. It photographs beautifully. This is definitely my night out foundation. If I was going to an event, if I was going out for dinner, if I was going out for drinks, if I was going partying, I'll just say a prayer and a wish. But if I was doing any of those things, even if I was going for a coffee with a friend or to, the cinema even, if I was going to any of these places, that's the foundation I'd choose. It's bulletproof, it's transfer proof, it's long wearing, I don't think it's waterproof, but I would certainly trust it to survive, say, a quick shower whilst running from my car to a building. I think it would be fine. It's going to photograph beautifully under flash or not. It's going to make everything look smooth and perfected and glorious. And yeah, you get what I'm saying. I wasn't expecting it. I thought I was going to look like a flat, dead corpse, but I did not. And last but not least, what's your favourite high-end eyeshadow palette right now, this moment? Now this for me, it changes willy-nilly. It changes weekly, I would say. I'm not doing makeup as often as I usually do at the moment. I'd say I'm wearing makeup twice a week, once or twice a week at the moment. And yeah, at the moment, it's divided in rows too. At the moment with my makeup, I'm treating myself. It's my self-care, it's my me time, it's my relaxation, it's my playtime, it's my self-care time. Did I say that one already? That's what it is. And so I'm picking at the moment when I'm doing my makeup, I'm choosing the things that give me the most joy. I don't care. I don't have to go on a school run. So if I want to do 2 completely different eyes, I haven't got to worry about, explaining later to the other mums. I haven't got to worry about strange looks in the corner shop because I'm not going anywhere. I'm not leaving my house. So I can do whatever I want. I can go as extra as I want. I just do whatever I want to do. That gives me a little bit of a smile. That my children are going to say, oh, mummy, I love your eyes, which is what they say to me whenever I wear this palette. And it's just pulling it out and just looking at the the packaging and remembering how I nearly lost my soul to get it, you know. I really feel like I achieved something that day, but it's just a treat. I get a lot of joy out of this palette, out of using this palette, out of looking at this palette, out of putting this palette on my eyes. So at the moment, this is the one. This is the one. It's the one. Now, I hope this time that is all of the questions. It probably isn't, because my brain has ceased to function. So it probably isn't all of the questions. I've probably missed one. I might have even made some up that weren't actually in the original video. That probably might have happened. So I can only apologise and hope that this video was as close to the tag as it was intended. So thank you so much to Jenna and Kelly Gooch, who came up with this super fun tag. I just love doing tag videos at the moment. I just find them really fun and easygoing on the eye, or the ear is probably more appropriate. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'd love to see you in the next one. Otherwise, take care for now. Bye 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 bye.